Christmas. Christmas music? Christmas music is that droning noise that haunts supermarkets from October 31st to December 25th. There is a lot of dog-ass Christmas songs to play around this time of year. I'm looking at you, Mariah Carey. There's also a lot of holiday classics that play around this time of year too, from the likes of Bing Crosby, Brenda Lee, and Frank Sinatra. But let's swerve away from the familiar and let's dive into the unconventional and underrated. I am not here to talk about the familiar holiday classics. I am here to talk about Lemon Demon. Now you might be pondering to yourself, Lemon Demon, what's that? Some kind of venereal disease? No, fear not. Lemon Demon is the brainchild of Neil Cicierega, a musical act to emerge from the depths of internet culture. Now, if you're as immersed in the online world as I am,
Hackerman.
or if you grew up in the late 2000s, early 2010s, you might know Neil Cicierega through his multitude of successful internet projects. He is the genius behind such viral sensations as Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny,
This is the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny.
Brody Quest, and Potter Puppet Pals.
Voldemort, Voldemort, ooh, Voldemort.
In 2012, Neil Cicierega embarked on the mission to create the most bomb-ass Christmas album ever. The result? I Am Become Christmas. An unconventional masterpiece that boldly challenges the norms of holiday music. This isn't your grandmother's typical jingle all the way Christmas music. No, no, no. Rather, this album takes the listener on an eccentric sleigh ride through the wonderfully quirky and, frankly, downright bizarre realms of Neil Cicerega's creativity. But before we get into the album, I want to talk about two hella interesting things about it. The first thing I want to talk about is that the cover art is a visual delight. It was made by Ming Doyle, Neil Cicerega's incredibly talented wife. The second thing is that the album received a major makeover. Angel Hair Audio did an entire remaster on this album on December 24th, 2021. It breathed a lot of new life into these songs and also birthed a series of vinyl pressings that are sick as hell. Now, I'm no audio snob. I could not care if you listen to your stuff on digital or vinyl or fucking cassette. But there is an undeniable cool factor to these vinyl pressings. Each one of them is like a work of art in and of themselves, boasting colors and patterns that mirror the song's vibes that they're trying to capture. The sheer visual allure of these EPs is downright awesome. But enough talking about the art and the vinyls and all that good shit. Let's get into the meat and potatoes that make up an album. The music. The inaugural track for I Am Become Christmas is Prelude to Presence. And let me just tell you, this is like the best track for a Christmas album. The song starts off with this pulsing and humming synthesizer that gives off this complete feeling of anticipation, and as that's going on, a chorus slowly joins in on the ensemble, building up this harmony of eerie oohs and la la las, giving the song an otherworldly atmosphere. As the same time as the chorus joins in, a chime starts that sounds exactly like that tink 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 noise that a snow globe makes, and honestly, it brings a nice little holiday vibe to this whole song that I really like. Finally, a keyboard joins the song, rounding out all the instruments and bringing that signature Lemon Demon flair to the song. As all of these instruments are reaching their festive climax, they gently drift away. It's very reminiscent of that moment when you're a child and you finally fall asleep on Christmas night. You know what I'm talking about, right? When you finally get those me 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 and finally drift off. If you understand what I'm saying. I don't know how much more I can explain it. You know, like it's a moment of peace. Anticipation is the name of the game of the song. It's literally titled Prelude to Presence because it is an ode to the anticipation of Christmas morning, the prelude to presence. The song also has a little bit of foreshadowing to the final track on this album, Crypto Santa, because it has a lot of things from this song reappear in that song, and that's just really neat. Overall, as an opening track for a holiday album, I think it does a wonderful job setting up the rest of the album, and it is definitely a hidden gem that not many people listen to, which I don't understand because the album and the song go hand in hand. The next song, Christmas Will Be Soon, is a really dope Christmas vibe. giving off those little cheery, festive, upbeat feels that everybody loves in a Christmas song. Lines like,
Christmas will be soon, luring like the moon.
set the tone for a classic holiday track. But hey, if you dig a little deeper into the song, you actually find a little bit of a hidden meaning. The song is actually about paganism and Christianity and the struggles with giving up pagan traditions in favor of Christian ones. If you check out lines like,
Now let go of solstice and save our soul.
and
Cut down our twig, shines it round the big pine beneath the star. This is who we are.
then you can easily see that this song is all about pagan traditions and giving them up for Christianity. Adding a little bit of fun complexity is the line "decorate your untamed nature," which has a double meaning. First of all, it can mean decorate your untamed nature, cover up your barbarism, your paganism, your untamed nature. And then it also means Christmas trees. Because pine trees are untamed nature. The song also has a little bit of a nihilistic approach on some things, with the repeated line of emphasizing the shift of the belief landscape. The once honored pagan gods are now being forced to take a backseat to the Christian deities that the pagan people are being forced to worship. But enough of this dull explanation and deeper meaning stuff. The vibe of the track is simply awesome. It combines traditional stringed instruments and piano with this dope infusion of synthesizers. The song seems to echo the track's themes with giving up the old in favor of the new, with the old instruments like the string and piano representing the old pagan style, while the synthesizers represent the modern Christian stuff. Damn, it's like everything comes full circle, doesn't it? Now I want to talk about Why Christmas Will Be Soon. It's such a fantastic track. You don't need to know any of the shit I just told you. The beauty of this track lies in the fact that you genuinely do not need to know any deeper meaning to just vibe with it as a nice festive holiday track. Sure, the background knowledge is fun to know, but you absolutely do not need to know any of it to just enjoy Christmas Will Be Soon. Now, shifting gears from the most Christmassy sounding track, let's talk about one that seems to just break all the molds of a holiday song, Aurora Borealis.
This is the first time that you've ever seen Aurora Borealis crush mankind.
This track does something bold by combining the holiday spirit and the apocalypse into one track, and honestly, it works really well. In the narrative, we witness our main character transition from just being the one participating in traditions and actually having to be the one to take them over and carry them on. Lines like,
It's okay, I've done this tons of times. Well, maybe once a year since I was very young.
show that our main character has been a part of the tradition for a very long stretch of time. He is very familiar with the tradition of watching the Aurora Borealis crush people. However, he's now the one taking over the role of the tradition, and we learned that it's not all peachy keen and that it's actually much harder than it seems.
Yeah, I knew it had to stop, 'cause I always mess it up.
I think it's really interesting that this song shows what it's like to be the one to have to take over a tradition, because most things don't show that when it's your turn to take over the torch, everything kind of loses that magic luster that you once loved about it. And it also shows that traditions are fucking hard. Now, Aurora Borealis is also a romance song because, hey, who said your apocalypse Christmas song can't have a little bit of romance, am I right? The entire reason the protagonist is doing this tradition is to try to give the person he loves a Christmas experience that they will never forget. It becomes very obvious that Aurora Borealis is a romance song when the first fucking line.
Beneath the apocalyptic snowflakes from above, we're not in peril, we are in apocalypse.
And in this line,
Pretty winter night, your hand in mine.
however, this song does not have a happy ending because our protagonist fucks up the tradition and leaves his love mortified and scared and never wanting to see him again, probably. The instrumental vibe of this track is soaked in synthesizers, giving it this out of this world and alien feel, and that's pretty sick. It's this unique and distinct sound that shapes the entire track compared to the rest of the album. Another thing about the instrumental is that it has this constant jingling of sleigh bells that gives it a very Christmas feel, which is funny because the lyrics and the synthesizer and nothing else gives it that Christmas feel, but just these sleigh bells go, yeah, okay, I got it. I'll take the chance. I'll take the undertaking and give it that Christmas vibe. And it does it. It succeeds. It feels like a Christmas song, all because of the sleigh bells. I'm dumb. I love going on little rants like this, dude. Now, as we transition from the apocalyptic love of Aurora Borealis, we find ourselves in a different emotional landscape with the song Sad.
Seasonal affective disorder.
I don't have many jokes written for the song because Lemon Demon decides to take us on an emotional journey through the harsh realities of seasonal affective disorder. Right from the outset, Sad delivers an emotional gut punch with its first line.
Every winter, I'm a wreck, yes. Miss my family. Merry Xmas.
Winter, rather than being a season of joy and festivities, becomes this relentless anniversary that pummels our protagonist into submission. The ache of missing families during the holiday season is palpable here, and I completely understand it. The reoccurring phrase,
Seasonal affective disorder,
amplifies the struggle, marking this quarter of the year where winter reigns supreme, a time when everything comes to a grinding halt. During the song, the narrator's voice also transforms into this vessel of emotional turmoil. Winter morphs into this metaphorical cage where loneliness prevails, prospects dwindle, and love becomes a distant memory, all under the crushing grip of snow. This is in stark contrast to every other song on this album because this one explores the deeper, more complex themes of seasonal depression. Surprisingly, or maybe not so surprisingly, Sad is one of, if not the best songs on this entire album. It defies the conventional upbeat and festive spirits found in most holiday songs, instead opting for a deeper exploration of the complexities of seasonal blues. Neil captures the essence of seasonal affective disorder not as a clinical condition, but as a lived experience that unfolds with every melodic note. And yet, with this poignant exploration of winter blues, there's an odd sense of comfort in knowing that others are trudging through the exact same emotional snowdrift, finding solace in this bittersweet melody. It is a really, really good song and a nice hidden gem on the album, and I highly recommend you check it out in full once you're done with this video. Come on. Shifting away from the saddest song on this whole album to a much happier one, the closing track is Crypto Santa.
new dimensions, full of presents for the children.
It's a wonderfully bizarre track narrating the escapades of a private company attempting to rip a portal into another dimension to be able to privatize Christmas. But amidst this experiment, one of the workers or scientists or something becomes an unintended target for a laser beam and goes through a less than whimsical, more body horror transformation into Santa Claus. Out of all the concepts on this album, this is the most out there concept of them all. I can understand depression. I can get the apocalypse and Christmas. In fact, I can understand that pagans exist. But Santa? What? The instrumentals to Crypto Santa perfectly bring back those oohs from Prelude to Presents, but then quickly shifts into a sci-fi inspired ensemble of synthesizers and drums and keyboards and this laser sound that I don't even know how to describe. It just sounds like a laser. I think the instrumental does a very good job setting itself apart from every other track because it is so different and weird. Just when you thought things couldn't get any stranger, the song also shifts into a body horror part when you watch the person struck with a laser transform into Santa Claus.
Body horror, tendons snapping, ribbons and wrapping, stockings stuffing, skin is sloughing, bones are bowing, something is growing,
stuff, the lyrics, the instrumental, the entire story of the track set this song apart as one of the most bizarre final tracks on any album. There is not a deeper meaning to this song like there are the other ones. It's just a quirky little closer that ends in the best way any Christmas track could end.
Merry Christmas!
And that is a wrap on I Am Become Christmas, Neil Cicierega's unconventional take on holiday music that delivers a fresh and quirky experience. So if you're tired of the usual holiday fare and want to find something that breaks the mold a bit, give this album a spin. It's a delightful little sleigh ride through the weird and wonderful, offering some fresh perspectives on the holiday season. Until next time, I'm Jack. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and peace.